Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, FYI family. Happy to have you folks on the live. It was just a simple exercise to push the button that says go live, and it's so many trials and tribulations to get to that point. Folks, forgive us for quite a late start this morning, but we had to be on to give you guys the valid and the credible information. A lot of stuff happening politically, folks. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button too. It's Friday, the 20th day of June. Believe it or not, 3 days' time is Rita's birthday, and Ricky's at the 28th. Rita's the 23rd. Ricky's the 28th. I'm the 30th. I have a nephew who's the 29th. Good folks were born in June. A lot of good folks were born in June. Mandy and Joseph and Rihanna Mingo and Natasha Brister, Denise London Welchman and Godfrey Montaigne, and I see Naya, and I see Lachman Aziz. Tell Jamal good morning for us. Good morning, folks. Again, wherever you all are joining us from, we are happy that you all are on the live this Friday, the 20th day, as I said, the 20th day of June. We're coming down, edging down by the time we get into, is it officially summer? I don't know. We just got rain and summer. You know, is it officially summer? We head further into summer, folks, and we watching that September 1st date, general and regional elections. Marlon Thomas says, boots on the ground. Folks, we need you guys to help us in this critical election. We need you folks to help us. Please and thank you, Sabrina Jacobs and Diane Graves Zandi and Jilly G and Sheila Boyd Child, all the other folks, Wenda and Mandy. Good to have all of you here. Marlon says PNC, APNU, WPA, all the way. Yeah, I think you got it right there. Farida and Brian, Yvette, and all the other folks who are on with us this morning. Good to have you folks around the breakfast table this morning. I see Kwame is here. Kwame says, onward to victory. This is a good Kwame. Tessa and Yanet. Good to have you. Luan Roberts Hall. Good to have all of you on the live. Edward Brooms. Good to have you too. Claire Capel, Magnell Barrow. Happy Friday, folks. Happy Friday. How was the night behind you? How was the night, folks? Hope you guys have had your breakfast yet, you know. Sometimes, I know some of y'all disgusting, you know. Some of y'all, you got to keep on track. You had breakfast yet? You had breakfast yet? Some of you just get up and you got to keep going, you know. You had breakfast. We got to take some time to take care of us. Number one, take care of us. You know, Magaril Seville Magaril. Good to have you on. Is it Mundale Fernand? Or is it Mundial? For that, Margaret Nelson is here. Good to have you here, Margaret. Rio and all the other folks. Noel. Good to have Michael Gittins here too. I see Amma Jackson. You got all these nice names. You know, I like short names like Amma. You know, some of you got some long. Melanie, how you doing there? Jilly G. You know, I like the G there. You know, Jilly G says no breakfast. No. Things can't say brung, man, Jilly. Things can't say brung. She said we're drinking coffee from a glass, no cups. Correct. Moving on for my own heart. Margaret, what do you have this morning? Margaret, what did you have this morning? Morna Stoby. Good to have you, Morna. PK's in the house, or is Bella Drum this morning? Let us know. I see Rosalind is here, and Orvin Don Cook, Simone Graves. Folks, good morning. Happy to have all of you here. Cheryl, Liddy, there's Letty. Good to have you too. and Joseph and all that folks. Don't let nobody steal your joy this Friday. Please and thank you. Don't let nobody steal your joy this Friday. I got up, I saw, as I was flipping through, I got up like you guys, and I got into work. Right? I got up and I got to work. And then I just took a pause. I took a pause. My wife bought me, was it Father's Day? My birthday already. Something, a nice devotional book. Father's Day, yeah. A nice devotional book every day. You know, like the Daily Word? Yep. Same thing. A nice devotional book. And I got up and I read this morning's devotion. You know, I played a little gospel, reflected on the Father, said a prayer, you know, for direction, for guidance, for myself and you guys as well. And then I got back to work again. Good morning, folks. Good morning. I got a feeling, you know, all over the place. David Pappen, you know, some mornings you get up like that. Shelly DeRita, some mornings you get up like that. Yep. Let me say, it's a must. It's a must. Rosalind said, got up and see wind. Yeah. Right? Well, you know, you need to break the wind. It's a little hot tea. But I hear you there. Rosalind, I hear you there. Rosalind said, get up and I see wind. Yeah. So hot black tea in the system. Bop. You know, break that wind and a little, you a nice little pot bake. Margaret, when last you had pot bake, girl? When last you make pot bake for you? I show you, I call it another name. Muffiner, you know, something like that. Some nice euphemism you all got, right? John Jones says stinging nettles and little soursop leaf tea. Oh my God. Thing of champions, you know everything now, you get in tea bag. Them boys come, take out with bush, refine it and give it back in tea bag. You remember the times when you only had one flavor tea bag? Take it or leave it. It was a big thing then, tea bag. Tea bag come. One flavor. Now, every flavor across the spectrum. I'm sure you got a shared flavor. You got a John Jones, you got a Everly, you got a Fennel. Every conceivable flavor you want in tea bag, you can get it. You know, you want coffee flavor in tea bag? Coming right up. Stinging nettles, soursop. Desmond Harris, good morning. Good morning. Right? Good morning. A Vert of France. Right? Good to have you. Julie said she goes for one flavor. Red rose. Red rose tea. You old school girl. Margaret Andrews. Good morning. Red rose. Listen to Kwame. Listen to facetious Kwame. The good Kwame. Jaguar tea. I would not have thought about that. Jaguar tea. Right. Jaguar tea. Yeah, some of y'all know y'all label. June Cameron said red rose. You know, we heading into the weekend. I hope you all take some time for yourselves. I've been busy the last few weekends. I haven't been in the national park on the weekend, but I found some time during the week. You know your bodies tell you need some Jaguar tea, peppermint tea, Stanford, McLeod, Oh, Jesus Lord, the glasses. Jilly G girl, the glasses. McLeod, Pamela Dover. Spend some time with you this weekend. You know, some people don't like spend some time with themselves. You know, some people don't like spend some time with themselves. When my wife says she's going by her mother, you know, I said, really, you have to? You have to go? Really? My God, you know how much I love having you around. You know, you're going, it's the thing, right? But inside, you know, quiet time. I love quiet time. Some people gotta get a little music playing. They gotta get the TV on. They gotta watching something. You know, you gotta see on Facebook. I love quiet time. Maybe it's old age. John Jones said party. You know, outside. Really? You gotta be there. I'm gonna miss you. You know, I'm trying to summon my puppy dog face. Is it working this morning? Hibiscus tea, you know the thing. You know, hibiscus tea. My friend Camille, I know if it's my former friend. Um, what was the one she liked? I'm trying to remember it. Camille had a special one. Oh yes, folks. So this weekend, y'all spend some time with you. You know, you gotta put on your own mask. That's what the people tell you in the airline industry. Before you attend to the neighbor, you better put on your own mask. You know, please and thank you. Put on your own mask. Merengue. That's the one could be like merengue tea. You, you better touch. I see. It's who we got here. Horace was your kind of tea boy. You know, some of y'all like your porridge. Just another story. You like your bum. Y'all gonna blow up. Y'all try them blue pills. Y'all gonna blow up. You see some of y'all say, don't knock it yet, Duncan. You're coming down the road. Don't knock it yet. You like your porridge. Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones, we see you there, Kevin. Chanel and Mandy and all the other folks. Diane Gravesandi. You know, we gotta take care of ourselves, folks. Anybody gonna do it for us? We gotta take care of ourselves. Take care of number one. And the weekend is upon us. Good folks, and we can do just that. So I got up this morning, and as I got into work, take a pause to the devotion, got back to work, I saw the General Secretary of the PNCR, the People's National Congress Reform, Sherwin Benjamin, put out a strong statement in support of the leader of the party, Aubrey Norton. And it meant so much to me in the sense that to see folks, it's now that we're getting into the political season. No, it's not that now people make up their mind, you know, it's now a lot of things being revealed, right? And we're getting further into the political season and people are tuning in. You know, it was so heartening. I served, I remember Sherwin from University of Guyana days. I think Sherwin did sociology and then he did law. And so I know him from campus. And besides just knowing him, I think I could call him a friend. And we developed a relationship over the years. It's quite interesting, you know, to see so many of your squaddies from UG in the process. Dorita and I were from opposing parties at UG. Ricky did agriculture, Dorita did economics at the University of Guyana, that bastion of higher education. As I said, Sherwin Benjamin, no Sherwin from UG, Ganesh Maipal. Ganesh did civil engineering, you know, at university. I know Ganesh from student politics. We were in opposing parties in student politics, you know. UG is a good place. I fight anybody that try to knock UG. You know, I sit in the university council now too. So I've gone back and giving service to my alma mater. It's the only university I've known. I hope it's not the only one I will know. You know, I've had the opportunity to be on some great campuses in the world, but this is my only university of higher education I've been to as yet. You don't think I'm signing off like? You don't think I'd like a nice PhD? You know, I just want a conferred PhD. I want a studied PhD. You got to put in the work, you know, to get a result. Folks, a lot of things happening this morning. I saw our brother Usain Bolt is coming in for high praise. You know, GDG, thank you so much. GDG, thank you so much. GDG has made a contribution to our program, and it comes up live on the YouTube channel. Those who use that route, you buy a token or something like that, and it helps us. A percentage of that comes to us, and that is why I said, you know, I stingy. Me didn't even want a percentage go to. I didn't want a percentage go to YouTube. That's why we encourage folks to use the link. It's a secure link. We never had a problem with anybody complaining that the information was leaked or hacked or anything like that. Use the secure link and help us there. But I want to say congrats to Usain Bolt. You know, A man's giftings, the good book says. The good book says a man's giftings shall make a way for him. And that is what his has done. Use all his talent, his athletic prowess, and he's breaking a lot of barriers. You know, listen to me. Take Usain Bolt, for instance, Eva, right? Take Usain Bolt, for instance. Usain Bolt, no, you can't cut no corner to get to that athletic excellence. You gotta go through to come through, right? You can't say I can just wake up one day per month and get in fine form the way he has been able to push his body, push his mind as well, and then you get all of these accolades. He's been named the Guinness World Record icon for extraordinary achievements. And you know, he burst on the scene, a sprinter, much like Michael Phelps in the pool, and have achieved tremendous heights in world athletics. And it's okay to say congratulations. It's okay to recognize people who have excelled. Don't hold back our own accolades when the time comes, you know. Don't do it. So while that is happening at that end, you know, once you come into 592, what we got to deal with, Roslyn says, Sherrod, can you please send me the link? You can see it coming by. Watch it coming by now. You know, watch for it. Watch for it. It says, keep us going. Make a donation today. And when you open it, it gives you so many options. Credit card, MasterCard, Apple Pay, Cash App, whatever you use, you get the option, link, and all manner of things. Zelle too, I think, might open up there. That's why I like this international company we partner with, Stripe, that helps us to do this. Listen to me, you gotta work smart in this life and not harder. Work smart in some instances and not necessarily harder. That being said, folks, we recognizing the athletic prowess of this fine Jamaican son, Usain Bolt, right? Usain Bolt, it's okay. We ain't gotta be vexed with Usain Bolt, you know. Recognize his talent, recognize his hard work, and as the Guinness Book has, it doesn't take anything away from you. You know, justice. Let justice be done. Love it. Love it. You do nonsense. You can't keep yourself to yourself. No. Folks, I got a lot of faults. I like talk. That's number one. I like talk. Right? I like talk. A little disgusting. Yeah, and I don't like listen sometimes and so on. You know, come off the fence. I wasn't on the fence. I didn't know how people associate me with the fence. But I wasn't on the fence. You and I a little stubborn and so on. We all got a little faults. But I thank God, me got some faults, boy. Right? I thank God that drinking and drunking, you know, drinking is not the problem. It's getting beside yourself. That's what the problem there. You know? Falling down and vomiting and roll up on the ground. I had 2 good mojitos yesterday. We were out for a couple of minutes yesterday afternoon. We got a yearly ritual. We that celebrate our birthdays in the same month, we just meet for a little brunch or something like that. I told them, I say, y'all eat. I need a liquor. I need to steady up myself today. I need to steady myself. 2 mojitos later, I started feeling a buzz. I said, 2 mojitos later yesterday afternoon, I started feeling a buzz. It's good. I'm steady now. I say, y'all eat chicken. Y'all eat the shrimp, the this, the that, you know, the pork, the lobster. Y'all have fun today. I'm giving y'all edge. Right? I'm giving you all edge. You see? And they clean up. You know, I just left with my buzz. I was grateful. I saw Horace is reminding us And thank you, Horace. We got a big funeral this week, I think on the 22nd, which is Sunday. Sunday will be the 22nd. A big funeral this week. Adriana Young is going to be interred this week. And I hope this young lady can truly rest in peace. As we who are left in the land of the living pick up the baton and help to deliver justice for this young lady, justice in this family. Right? We're reminded that Adriana wasn't in the pool. Don't let me fool yourself. Right? She was placed in the pool afterwards. Right? Let me just say that. Cut through something. Let me just say that. She wasn't in the pool. So we remember that on Sunday, the 22nd. That funeral is happening. And then this case with Bartica that you see on the screen here, this graphic, Jerome Rodriguez, 23 years old, he was found guilty of the rape of a 12-year-old girl and has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. 23, Jerome raped a 12-year-old. When Jerome sees freedom again, he's 43 years old. If he doesn't get paroled before that time. 43 years old. Folks, think about it. With the rapid pace of technology and where the world is going, it used to take a generation, a decade for new advancements and so on. Now that could be 6 months, could be 3 months. You all see how artificial intelligence, AI, has swept this world. Imagine 20 years from now. But when you can't keep yourself to yourself, anything can happen. I'm happy I ain't got some ailments. I don't have some challenges. You know, that's why I don't envy people, you know. You see people with this and that, and Lord, I'm not where I used to be. But thank God, Shamila, right? I'm not there. Right? I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. That's it. That's how they phrase it. I'm not where I want to be, you know, with the PhD and so on. But I'm happy I'm not where some people there. Very happy about that. So you can't do the time. Don't do the crime. See people, children, and left them alone. See people in general, leave them alone. Right? See people, kids, leave them alone. See people don't interfere with you, don't interfere with them. Right? Justice has been done. Justice has been done. While that's happening, Birdness, we're being told, you all remember the Bellevue pump station? The Bellevue pump station. That contract is now with another contract. That project is now with another contractor. 800 and how much ever $million later. A huge advance paid to the contractor. Good folks. And we're no closer to that project being completed. But as we said, I think in a publication I saw early on, as we said in one of the publications, Credible Sources, that this is just the government tidying up business as we get closer to that general and regional elections. That is what it's about. $865 million, almost $1 billion. And years later, 10% of this contract has been executed. And these are people who are protected by the PPP, and I could vote for them. Huh? I could vote for them. I may take a chance with any other party on this side of the parliamentary opposition, the PPP. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. They have done too many wrongs and have not been held sufficiently accountable for them. Too many wrongs. And now quietly, very quietly, they have now moved this contract from Tupui Group. And you all know who are the principal, at least one of the principals here. Birdness moved this contract from Tupui Group, and they've gone now and they give it to another company, I think called, is it GECO or GECO is a new contractor. This on the ballot, you know. This on the ballot. But this is what happens, and has happened repeatedly. When you give friends family and favorites contracts. It is precisely what happens when friends, family, and favorites. And since then, since this contract was awarded, badly and poorly, ineptly, is there a word like ineptly? Incompetently executed, the man get out of contracts, He has gotten contracts, other contracts, over $500 million in worth. He has gotten other contracts. Friends, family, and favorites. We're making up these things. We're not making them up. But who can hold them accountable? Who going to hold the government accountable? It is up to all of us. Tammy Gibbs. It is up to all of us. Sheila Boyd-Child. Right? To hold them accountable. You see, when you go in that polling booth and you vote for the APNU coalition, that's holding them accountable. That is holding them accountable. You could imagine if they get another 5 years. You recognize this country with corruption. You recognize this country with nepotism. I saw a young lady commenting on Facebook this morning. And she said, things are moving forward in this country, and it's only the lazy and the complainers and so on. I wish it were that simple. Right? I wish if structurally in this country, the scales were balanced and everybody had the same starting point. But it's not so. It is not so. It is not so. It's not so easy. It's not so simple. You got some people working hard. Working hard. They're lazy every day. Some people go to work in darkness, come home in darkness. And I'm talking about the electricity situation. You left home early in the morning, late at night. And if things don't change structurally, what are you telling me? You can't make it? My grandparents were teachers their whole life. Their whole life. They were able to build a home in the old age. Why? Because they want to. But that's a pick a struggle. Right? We can have a family and mind the kids, put them through school, put our ambitions on the backboard and so on. And they were able to do it in their old age. By the time my grandfather died, right? I got two grandfathers. Mr. Johnson was my biological, grandfather, whatever you call it. But he was my grandfather nonetheless. Full stop. Damn it. By the time he died, and my grandmother took a hit for that. And she started a rapid decline after that. You got a house, you can't even enjoy it. You got a home, you cannot even enjoy it. In your old age now. Right? People must be able to own homes in this country very early and not have to sell a kidney to do it. Right? Well, the kidney won't even do it. You got to sell a kidney, piece of your backbone, your spleen. So structurally, a lot of things are wrong. Right? And critics is an example. He's a prime example. Critics is not a qualified contractor. He is not a qualified contractor. I spoke with a qualified contractor quite recently who bemoaned the fact he's not getting contracts. Bid after bid after bid, after bid. And here's a man who never built a bridge, never fixed a fence in his life, could come and get an 860, how much ever $1 million contract. Right? And even squander that. So he probably lazy too. He probably lazy too. The playing field is not level. You got qualified contractors who could build that pump station. Build it and build it well. And would be then even more qualified to take on additional contracts, and who are being sidelined. But here's a man, given his first project, totally failed. No qualification in that area. And he totally failed to prove it. And has been given additional contracts. Big contracts. Additional contracts. And bona fide contractors are being sidelined. And you telling me the people who are not getting by is because they're lazy? No. That's not right. Not in every case. Not in every case. I remember some folks asked for my help to lobby on a certain issue. It's just that some of them shame. Business people in this country shame. I was invited to a meeting where businessmen said that Impressions getting all the contracts of that nature, the business that they do, printing contracts, worth billions of dollars. All of those big billboards with their front face and t-shirts and this and that, the tar and the necks. And they're being squeezed out of the market. You're either getting no contracts or you're getting a contract. It is so small, it is unsustainable for your business. And I'm telling you, people who begged me to use my platform to highlight what was happening. Because the shame, and if then shame, they are afraid of the victimization if they should come forward. If they should come forward. Or maybe both the shame and the afraid. They complain. Impressions, eating a food. That's what them boys in the street said. Making a bread. Billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. You know? You make your me got a problem with that. I have no problem with Impressions making money. I see one of the family member got a news outlet now, Ignite. The Impressions son got a news outlet now, Ignite. Make your money, me ain't got no problem with that. But I am advocating for a level playing field. So to say that people are lazy or they're complainers, you gotta complain because the playing field is not leveled. It's not. How critics then beat out qualified, competent contractors if the playing field level? How? Contractors in this country know you got to kiss the ring and bow a knee. You got to pledge allegiance to make it. So what are you telling me? What are you telling me? I seeing a whole set of people got to now go into Freedom House. You haven't seen it. You got to sit around a table and photographs got to be taken. Why young people? Why if a group of young people have an idea, they can't walk into the bureau of, what do you call it, Small Business Bureau, walk into some other entity, put an idea on a table and get some help, and nobody got a flash of photograph. And there's always one set of people looking a certain way, of a certain color and hue and texture. Why is it? And you tell me a playing field level? And to get by, You got to go, not to go invest, not to small business. You got to go Freedom House and get your photograph taken. And you say people lazy? What madness is that? How they going to be an efficient system? How they going to be an efficient system? Give me a break with that. Sorry, I took a little detour there, man. But right is right and wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So the contract has now been taken from Tupoi Group, boardness them, given to somebody else. Given to someone else. GECOM met with stakeholders yesterday. GECOM met with stakeholders yesterday. Them boys said that they fired up. That's what they said. And they're ready to go towards credible elections. Yeah. That's what they said. They are ready for credible elections. Well, some of the stakeholders that met with them yesterday weren't too impressed. You see? They were not too impressed. The lines were changed, and we ain't got no confidence in this thing here. Right? Nigel London, he said, 5 years later, I won't go into this further here. Suffice to say that on our podcast last evening, we went through some of these issues. We went through them. You know, massaging these issues, what GECOM said, where we are, and so on. So I want to refer you to last evening's podcast where we talked about GECOM for about half hour or so. And that's how we're using the podcast. We're going to tease out some issues. You know, in the ring, it's pop, 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 pop. We deal with about 18, 20 issues any given night in the ring. With the podcast now, we're going to now massage a matter or two. You know, AFC said they got no confidence. I saw Simona Brooms out there as well, and a lot of other people said, nothing on regular here. Them boys said ready though. Them boys said pace and power. 28 parties contested. 16 met yesterday with GECOM. Them boys said pace and power. You know, pace and we ready. Yet a lot of challenges you're hearing about. Right? Because Irfan won this September 1 date. They had to shorten claims and objections. They're trying to disqualify some folks. So they make some changes now to the nomination form. Mid-course, people already started filling out the old form. Going to remote places in this country where the supporters are. Left there and come back to the city ready to hand in the form. Only to be told you got to go back and start from scratch again. You know. All of that devised to disqualify competition. And we're talking about a level playing field in this country. Where does it exist? And they said they're going to deliver free and fair elections. Where the observers there, man? Where the observer missions? I wonder if they're watching, if they're seeing. Where are they? Please and thank you. Here's some of what Nigel London said coming out of this stakeholders meeting, this meeting with political parties and GECOM yesterday. Take a look.
That alone speaks to the fact that GECOM is unprepared to hold or conduct the general and regional elections, because should there be 28 parties, as you have heard, seeking to have 10 of them, let's say, we want to have a joint arrangement, GECOM cannot at this point say to us that they intend to have this addressed, mostly with the legal framework being applied and being adhered to. It's unfortunate, and it's clearly a sign that they're totally unprepared for these elections to be held.
Any other concern besides that of the arrangement for joint parties?
Yeah, Mike, one concern is the extension of the extended period of time to have symbols approved. 20 days. They're saying it will take for them to approve symbols. Of course, paraphernalia would be needed. For example, if they were to tell me on the 1st of July that this symbol is unaccepted, then I have to head to the printeries, try to change the symbol of some sort. And how then would we have paraphernalia in Guyana in time to have our elections campaign held? So It seems to be as though GECOM has been constructed to have two parties that are called major parties contest every election, while any other seeking to enter will have to either be subsumed in those or just do not participate.
Thank you. There you had Nigel London of the People's Movement on his take on the meeting.
Training. It is needed. It is necessary. But GECOM has a mandate to educate and to treat all parties, all the persons contesting for this election equally. You cannot have the bigger parties, I must say, well, the older parties, I'm not going to say big or small, and you're treating them in a particular way. And when you come to other parties that come in and movements to get into this, the process of election, then it's, you're back and forth. I think it's a lot of waste of time, and GECOM must treat all with an equal level of respect. Thank you.
Yeah, that was Simona Brooms there, of course, and Nigel London. Speaking about some of the concerns coming out of GECOM, here's the thing, the Alliance for Change, and some of their concerns as they exited that stakeholder meeting yesterday at GECOM. Take a look, take a listen.
Zero confidence. Zero. They're absolutely not ready.
Elections. They're not. If you have smaller parties that are very interested in joining, and you've had this as a burning issue for over 2 years, and you've come to a briefing and you cannot answer a fundamental question, that tells you the level of preparedness that GECOM has.
Would you call for the elections to be pushed back?
Of course.
GECOM should do the honorable thing. They're absolutely not ready. Or unless there is a definite plot to keep small parties out of the elections.
Or no, they are able to dictate who takes the seat.
So
about the journalists that they gave.
Sorry, folks, we're just trying to get a lot of the reactions from some of the persons coming out of the meeting.
The Elections Commission have a free and fair election, free from political interference, and every vote counts. So we hope they do their job and we have a good election.
What were some of the issues you raised?
What's that?
What some of the issues you raised?
Well, issues, the number of nominators, ensure it's correct. What about if there's someone who name is deleted? How do we address that? That's about it. It was really very informative. Mr. Giddings did a really great job in laying out the time frame and everything else for the election.
I have one party here saying that they're not confident in the Guyana Elections Commission preparation to hold the election, and in fact they're calling for it to be pushed back. Given your own interaction with GECOM, is that also your takeaway?
We didn't see that as was reported there, because I think Mr. Giddings has did a good job in laying out.
Isn't ready for this election, and it places the small parties at a terrible disadvantage. This is not what we had expected, and I hope that GECOM can do something to rectify.
We're trying to get as many reactions as possible from some of the political parties.
All right, so welcome back. I want to thank Nazima Ragabir and Prime News for being on the ground and facilitating those interviews that we could benefit here at Credible Sources. Thank you guys so much over there at Prime News. Thank you for another good place for valid and credible information. Please and thanks. And I want to say too that our reporting on the Tupoi contract, that is compliments of Stabrook News. Folks are out there, boots on the ground in their own way. These are good media houses doing some good reporting there. And GECOM says they can deliver with all those concerns. They had 5+ years to iron out lots, if not all of those challenges. And yet here we are. The system is being deliberately designed in a certain way that discredits, that marginalizes, pushes out the competition. That's how they want it. And they said in this environment, credible and valid votes can be produced from that kind of system. You know, no easy day in this country. No easy day in this country. And when it's not at the GECOM end, right, them boys worrying about the exercise book you hold in your hand. You know, exercise book politics. What's your party symbol? Again, level the playing field, man. It's good for one person to use the Jaguar over here, another person to use the Jaguar over there, right? But a man who has a political party, you got problems with him. You got problems with the Jaguar, right? The Jaguar is an animal. You said US can't use the Jaguar on something because the Jaguar only is just to Guyana. It's only Guyana is fine the Jaguar. The Jaguar is an animal. Oh, we now got patents on animal. If I use the kanji pheasant, there's another problem. I use eagle. It's a harpy eagle, national bird. You can't use it. This could get real wild, you know. It's the same kind of thing we have with colors. Well, I can't wear blue no more. I can't wear red. I can't wear yellow. Right? I can't wear orange. I can't wear pink. Come on, folks. Come on. But the politics is in this. Look, Robert Prasad, he is going to be on the list of candidates for the PPP. He's a PPP man. Robert Prasad is also the advisor to the government on something in foreign affairs. He sits as chair as the Protected Areas Commission. Robert Prasad is a PPP man through and through. He is not no independent vice. This is not no independent board voicing this concern. Come on, folks. This is rabid politics playing out here, trying to find an edge, trying to find a way to squeeze out, to disqualify your politician, your political competitors. This is it. Come, this is not no in their own deliberate judgment of the commission, the Protected Area Commission. You know, we were talking about Usain Bolt earlier. There's a concept in running called running rabbit. When you're running rabbit, right? And I hope it's not lost on you. But this is the analogy. In running rabbit, let's say you're a distance runner. 4 of you in the same team running the race, right? The strongest man is Jurita. Jurita is the strongest runner, right? We want Jurita to succeed so that the other 3 persons, Jurita is out front, the other 3 persons running at the back, and we run together side by side, the other 3, so that the competition now at the back has to run a longer way around us. Now, you know, that longer way around could be 4 seconds, could be 5 seconds to run around. It's more energy too for the competition to have to go out on the track and run around. That's called running rabbit, right? So you present a barrier for the competition getting to your man out front there. That's the concept, at least my take on it, of running rabbit. That's what the people are doing here now. When you got to go back to the drawing board, what other symbol we can use now? You can use a football. You can use a cow. Oh, Lord, you upset somebody with the cow. You upset somebody with the eagle. You understand where we are now? You put a ganja leaf. Oh, Lord, we upset somebody else. The sensibilities, but 5 away in this country, you know. And we got all these hang-ups. So the PPP running rabbit. They're running rabbit here now. So Robert Prasad, he ran out. He's trying to get him to run a longer way now. More time, more energy. You see? So you're out there campaigning. You're out there winning. We see it. We see it. There was a unique photograph yesterday that I saw. It was so instructive. When the PPP people turned up at GECOM for the briefing, Anil and Dalal turned up. representing the PPP, and you had also Zulfikar Mustafa. It was interesting, right? It was interesting from the standpoint of, here is the advisor to GECOM on legal matters, Alin Landalal, coming as now prospective candidate asking GECOM questions about a process that he is advising GECOM on legally as well. And we talk about a level playing field in this country. We talk about a level playing field in this country. I see some folks saying, let him use the Lamborghini. Yeah, perhaps. perhaps, folks. But we're talking about a level playing field. They will do whatever they can. They will try any number of things to disqualify you. Right? And folks can say, yeah. Them boys bad. You see? Level playing field where? Let me call it what it is. By hooks or by crooks. Maybe it's another terminology. By hooks or by crooks. But never, folks. Never any level playing field. Don't do it. So we got that to contend with. And finally, before I let you guys go, finally, you see, all of these things are distractions. Robert Prasad running rabbit now. You see? Running rabbit. You see? The other thing too, another fantastic concept I want you all to know too in running. You see those three people that I said running behind? Sometimes those three people are running in front. Sometimes those people are out front running. And the man they want to win, the man that they back in running at the back. Because they're taking off most of the win now. So that the man coming at the back got less with resistance to think about. You see? Sometimes that's how they do it too. Right? Some guys in front keeping pace. They're keeping pace with him. They're blocking most of the breeze, blocking most of the wind. So he don't have that to contend with. He talking at the back and he coming through. And then at the appropriate time, he makes up. Dash out. You understand me? And head to the finish line. you were the PPP. You all bother with the PPP. But the final matter I want to raise with y'all before we run off. Them boys said they can make GECOM great again. They can open how much ever all of the shuttered sugar estates. They can open back Diamond Sugar Estate that they close. They can open back they can open back, what's the one on the East Coast here? Success, was it? Success. Somewhere along the corridor there. Not right up to Enmore's yet. They can open back that one. Where is it, man? Where was it? I know some of you are brighter than I am. Before you get to Enmore, where was the other one? Just behind Success there. What's the village? They can open back all of them. Right? Now, the same diversification that the Granger administration was talking about, the same right sizing, them boy right there, you know. About 2 days ago, wasn't it Irfan who was telling us that they're going to use some of this land now, they're not planting cane anymore, that can't plant cane anymore because cane not fetching the price, the production that it used to fetch. It's not fetching the market price on the international market like it used to, right? And we did a whole podcast 2 nights ago on GECOM. I refer you to that for more content on this. You know, they're producing cane at $1.14 US cents, right? At $1.14 US cents. And the world market buying sugar at somewhere between 14 cents and 35 cents. So it's a charity. We are producing it at how many times what the world market is buying it for? We're running a charity. We're subsidizing the world market. And so sugar ain't going no place. And there's no affront to the folks who man this industry, the hard workers who man this industry. It's just the reality. It's just the economic reality of what is happening. Suddenly, Irfan ran out 2 days ago. Then we hear Irfan says that they're going to use some of this land now, they're planting cassava, they're planting soya. Didn't we hear that? Now, Jagdio yesterday had a different dimension. He said ganja. Sorry, he said hemp. We're going to look at them making sugar great again. They said APNU didn't know. But cultivation. APNU didn't understand the sugar industry. We got a man named Zulfikar. And now they're coming back. The real sanctimonious gangsters coming back to tell we they're now going to plant cassava. I thought they had something against cassava chip and planting chip and so on. They're going to plant hemp. They're going to plant soya. This is an admission of failure. But this is how they operate. Right? This is how clandestine they operate. While you're arguing about Jaguar and Lamborghini and this and that, them men making a mess of this country. But we're going to keep your eyes on it for our small part of this end. We're going to try to hold a focus on it, folks. When APNU came into government, APNU AFC 2015, their CEO, their appointed CEO at GECOM told us the industry was bankrupt. The industry was bankrupt. Everybody knew where sugar was going, right? Jamaica was coming out of sugar. Barbados was coming out of sugar, right? Or scaling down tremendously. It's the only way the scaling up. Our international partners told Jagrio since when? Do not pursue this Skeldon modernization factory, this Skeldon modernization project. Or the sell it is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Or a byproduct of this factory is going to be cheap electricity for the quarantine corridor there. Oh, so much employment, this and that, the third and the next. Never happened. Never happened. Never the day. Canoe board punt. It never materialized. This success. Skeldon Sugar Factory has never produced a pound of sugar at profitability. And now it's the same thing they're coming to tell us with every sector. Oh, you see this gas to show project. You see this gas to show project. Oh, this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Same MO. Same MO, folks. And now they're telling us they've even shelved the monetization aspect of this project. Same MO. They're always selling dreams out here. Now, Gaisuko lands to be used to plant cassava, soya, to be used to plant hemp. Yeah, look how sugar being made great again. It's going to be hemp suko, soya suko, or is it cassava suko? Can't be Gaisuko. Can't be sugar. Can't be sugar anymore. We're going to leave it there, folks, until we see you guys on the other side of the day. Thank you so much for being a part of our broadcast. Pamela and Lester and all you fantastic, hardworking, non-lazy people. Thanks to all of you for joining our broadcast today. It's been a tremendous privilege being here with you. Fantastic folks. On the live today, we got Stefan and Vesta. Michael, good to see you on the live. Yvette and Joseph and Rosie Rose. Pamela again. Bantu King. Nigel is here as well and all the other folks. We're going to see you guys on the next broadcast. That's our time for today and that's our program. Stay safe, folks. We're going to see you guys in the next one.